Hello everybody and welcome back to another race day. Here we are with season 2. We are back in Bahrain for the second time ever, and what a great race we are hopefully in for today. We are here, as I said, season 2 with 14 races, 6 drivers. Yes, we have a new sixth driver here. We have Carl coming in, of course, to be Harry's teammate, who was Charlie last year, but we all know what happened to him. Very unfortunate, but yes, we do have Carl now. And hopefully, Red Bull will finally be in a chance of doing well in Constructors. But who knows, this time round we are back though. And hopefully it will be brilliant. Who knows. Here we go with Carl, you can see. Red Bull hopefully be looking to set in a good lap. But we shall see what he can do. First race in for him. So who knows what's going to happen. So we have Carl out currently. We also have Ritvik out, of course, in the McLaren now, along with Jamie as well. Both going to McLaren here. And then we have, as you can see, Preston. We're not out yet, but Preston and Callum now in the Ferrari. So two team changes there really, but who knows? It could change everything, or it could change nothing. You just don't know. Of course, Preston being last season's our first ever drivers champion, and Callum and Preston in the Williams, both being our constructors first ever constructors champions. Can they successfully do a repeat of last year, but in the Ferrari? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, won't we now? But Harry is now out as well. So that means both Red Bulls are out now. The Ferraris have also just come out as well. So here come the Ferraris. So everyone is out now. All 6 of our drivers. That feels weird saying that. But in Bahrain, not so much. Because, of course, last year in Bahrain, and in general, in fact, we had 6 drivers. Just unfortunately not beyond that. So hopefully we can keep our 6th driver longer this season. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yes, here we go. Now, Carl is finally on his time lap, potentially looking to set in a brilliant time, but we will have to wait and see what happens. Jamie and Ritvik also on their time laps now. Ritvik did say, whoa! The new boy in town has gone out, retired straight away. What an unlucky start to Carl in the league. I wonder what happens. We'll definitely find some info on that, but that we're down to our 5 drivers from last season again. This is madness, isn't it? It's happening all over again. But yeah, I wonder who'll be first to set time. Here we go now with Preston. Keeping that pace up, going round the corners there. George Russell there, 131.733. Yuki Tsunoda beat him at. Fernando Alonso beat him at, actually, with a 130.866. Now takes that P1 spot from Tsunoda. Lewis Hamilton comes in at P3. Pierre Gasly at P4. George Russell drops down to P6 now because Ritvik has stormed in at 128.323. Lewis Hamilton is now DNF'd, in fact. Very unlucky there for Lewis. Jamie takes out P2 spot with a 130.455, only 4/10 of a second quicker than Fernando Alonso there. So nice work by Jamie to get that 4/10 quicker. So yeah, we're seeing the McLaren P1, P2 here, but what will the Ferraris have to say about that? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Of course, Harry as well, the only Red Bull now in the qualifying session. I generally cannot believe that. Carl, first time in, Andy DNS, very unlucky. Indeed. Preston in the Ferrari takes a 127.975. Callum takes a P3 spot for 128.490. Only a 1/10 of a second quicker, slower than Ritvik there. Very unlucky. However, Harry storms away with a 127.901. He takes that P1 spot, and that is generally only, 7/100ths of a second quicker. Then Preston's have very, very closely contended that P1 spot between him and Preston. But yes, he storms away with that P1 position. I'm sure Carl will love to see his teammate taking that. I do wonder what will happen with Carl coming back in the race. Will we be able to hold it together? Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and find out, won't we? But here we go now. Harry building up his pace through the straight. Going round the bends now, going round the corner here. Keep not slowing down too much, not losing too much grip around those corners. Nice work there. Ritvick has now gone back into pits. Not sure if he's gone to change tyres or whether he's just gone in because he's got a good place. He wants to preserve that. But of course, can he preserve it? Because Callum might just end up being quicker than him. Who knows? Of course, the boys absolutely striking it down in red this season. Hopefully they can set some brilliant scores and keep that championship. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Yeah, that's Callum now coming into pits as well as Preston. So we're double stacking it into the pits here. Harry sets a new time for 127.824. Nice work there by Harry, carrying the Red Bulls as he did last season. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? So that means Jamie and Harry are the only ones currently out for now. Hopefully Jamie can improve his time, potentially get that little bit quicker than Callum being 1 second out. Who knows though? We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Here we go now with Jamie going round for bends there, keeping a nice pace throughout. And going into the pitch just like his teammate there, Ritvick. Harry now being the only one currently out. Again, very unlucky there by Carl, but who knows, maybe he can pull off a madness in this race. Who knows, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We are on equal performance. Unlike last season where we kind of changed it, we went back to it for Abu Dhabi, of course. We are now back on equal, and it will stay on equal for this entire season, I'm pretty sure. So it's down to driver skill this time. Who knows what can happen though. Carl now down to P19 because obviously getting unfortunately DNF'd. Very unfortunately. So yeah, he's now down there. Harry also going into pits now. We have 10 minutes and 15 seconds left of qualifying here. It doesn't look... Yeah, maybe no one else is coming out here. Who knows? No, actually, I speak like that when I'm watching someone coming out. It appears Ritvick, or actually might be Jamie, actually, I'm not sure. Yes, Jamie and Preston are coming out, back out now. Obviously, probably new tyres, looking to potentially better their time. Preston obviously knows he's only 1/10 of a second out from Harry. Jamie, of course, knows he's 1 second out from Callum. Can they improve their times? Who knows? We'll have to obviously wait and see here. But potentially, well, who knows? Who knows? Carl now, unfortunately, down to P20. Again, very unlucky there. But yes, here we go. Preston keeping that speed around those corners. Nicely took that corner there. Got the Mercedes in front of him. I was just about to say that's Jamie. But no, Jamie being in the McLaren now, it's really confusing me. So who knows? Of course, last season, Bahrain, we speak about a Red Bull getting DNF'd. Last season's race here in Bahrain, both Red Bulls did get DNF'd. So will that be the luck of the Red Bulls again this year, or will they potentially come back with it? Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Of course, last season Bahrain was won by Callum himself with an amazing time gap, I'm pretty sure. So, potentially, could he pull that off again today? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of the Madmo, Callum is now come back out. So he should be looking to set a good time as well. But whether he can or not, we'll have to wait and see now. But Preston is back on his time lapse. So is Jamie here. But yes, here we go now. Callum keeping nicely going with that speed. Trying to manage his tyres though, not letting them wear out too much before he gets on his time lap, because that's always a mistake that people kind of make. They wear out their tyres way too much. When it comes to the time lap, it's like, I can't get that much speed because I've just worn my tyres out on my out lap. But obviously you got to warm up your tyres as well, so you've got to manage both of them really, haven't you? But yes, yellow flag here in sector 2. Not sure who for actually. Why don't we get the track map up, see where everyone is, potentially some lap data out as well. There you go, you got some info now. Ritvick is also out now. I was completely oblivious, but yes, he is on his outlap now. So nice work there by Ritvic. Potentially looking to beat Preston because he is just 1 second out. Who knows whether he can vote or not. Callum potentially looking to beat Ritvic, however, being only a tenth of a second out from Ritvic. Who knows? Harry's still in the pits. Preston has now also gone into pits. So we've just seen the two McLarens and Callum out now. I am interested in seeing if Carl can come back at all or not. It'll be very interesting to say the least. Whether he can or not, who knows? I mean, being the newest rookie in our driver lineup, obviously, we just have to wait and see, won't we? Who's closer to? I believe it's actually Callum is now coming into pits as well. Jamie about to come up to the finish line here. Preston's just come back out as well. So when one comes in, the other one comes out. Nice strategic work there by the Ferraris. But now Jamie coming up there with a potentially going to beat it, and he does. Gets a 129.300. Still not enough to beat Callum, however, because Callum has improved his time and they're still 1 second out. There is a tyre on the floor, but that's probably the Lewis's or Carl's there, so very unlucky from Carl. Preston coming up to the finish line to start his new time lap here. Can he though? Who knows? I'm sure we're about to see whether he can make it or not, whether he'll slip out in the end. Although he's quite good with not slipping out. He's only done it like once or twice last season, so he's pretty good for it. Jamie now coming up to the second to last corner. Past that, about to come up to the last corner now before finishing line. He's looking to be on track potentially to beat his time. Potentially, who knows? It's looking 127, 128, 129, 130. Does not beat his time. Gets a 130.365. That's 1 second slower than his current time. There you see Ritvic also coming out now for the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds of qualifying. I will give credit where credit is due. Nice work from McLaren's to actually, be up this far, beating Callum even with Ritvic, getting that P3 spot. So who knows? But we do have Harry P1 and Carl P20. So Red Bulls are completely opposite sides of the grid right now. Who knows what can happen though? There might, we might see the biggest turnaround of a season. Who knows? Imagine that first race of the season, and we've seen the biggest turnarounds. It'd be like a Preston Sochi moment all over again, wouldn't it? But further back, I'm pretty sure, and at start of race. It could be done, but whether it will be done or not will be very interesting to say the least. Preston's now going into the pit. Harry's now come back out, potentially gonna try and keep his lead. I mean, he is 1/10 of a second still quicker than Preston. Preston's still not been able to make up that time. Potentially all the practice Harry did the other day is coming in, is doing its work. It's coming into fruition. But who knows? Now with Callum though in P4, still got a way to go. Not even halfway through the track yet. Coming on to about the third straight before the finish line here. Ritvic, however, still further away. Jamie now in the pits as well. All the AIs, in fact, have come back out for the last little, run around, seeing what they can do, seeing what they can't do. Who knows though? Here we are with Ritvic now, halfway through the track. However, if we go down to Callum here, Callum is on the final straight and going into the pits. Being corrected there massively. Preston now back out as well for the last minute of qualifying, when one Ferrari goes in, another one comes out. Very strategic work there, but will it work out? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Ritvic now coming up to the finish line himself. Come around the final corner there and onto the main straight. He's got a 124, 125, 126, 127, and he does beat it. He takes P2 from Preston with a 127.885. Beats Preston with still 1/10 of a second quicker, and is only a 600th of a second out from Harry. Nice work there by Ritvick in the McLaren to take that P2 spot. Wow, both Ferraris have been squashed in by McLarens today. Who knows? Well, to see what happens, but can potentially the guys, well, McLaren, well, at least Jamie, go bigger than the Ferraris. Who knows? Actually, that won't be happening because qualifying is finished for Preston, Callum, and Jamie here. Of course, the car was finished a while ago. It will be Harry first who's finishing. He has spun out though, very unlucky. Yellow flag because of him in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Very unlucky there for Harry. Coming around this second to last corner here, trying to keep that pace going, trying to keep that speed going, hold his P1 position. I don't think it's going to be under threat, but who knows, never underestimate Jamie. He has actually... Never underestimate Ritvick, sorry. Getting my McLaren's mixed up now. But he is crossing the line and he hasn't beaten it. He's 9 seconds slower, but of course that doesn't matter because he's finished now. Ritvick also, but no, he's gone into pits himself. And that, people, is the end of qualifying. Thank you for joining us here, and we will see you in a minute at the leaderboard. Here we are at the leaderboards. You got Harry as your P1, Ritvick as your P2, P3 Preston, P4 Callum, P5 Jamie, and very unluckily, because he DNF, P20 Carl will be right back with you in the race. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you guys in a minute for the race. Hello everybody and welcome to the first race of Season 2 of the DCNX F1 Championship, and here we are back for the second time in Bahrain. And what a great race it was in Season 1 here. Of course, Callum took the win, Preston P2, and I can't exactly remember who was P3 now, which is very awful of me, but yes, that was a first 1-2 for Williams right there, but of course, they aren't Williams anymore, of course, they've moved to Ferrari, but anyway, we are, of course, back in Bahrain here, and this track has 2 DRS, no, not 2, 3 DRS zones, sorry, and 1 speed trap. Now, of course, as we know, this is mainly, it has that big straight, it has a few straights actually, it has a few windy bends, it has that about one corner, and so lots of overtaking opportunities there, and lots of speed, lots of pace, lots of action, and hopefully we're in for a good race, and a lot of overtakes, but why, I guess, wait around for anything? Let's start the first race of Season 2. Here we go. Hello everybody and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Here we are with the formation lap now. What a great race we are hopefully in store with. Of course, we have the 6 drivers. We have the, this is the first race of a second season, might I add. I hope you guys did enjoy the first season. Now, last time we were here, of course, we had 2 DNFs in the form of the Red Bulls. We have Callum coming in with P1 we had Preston with P2, and I believe we had an AI with a P3 because Mercedes at that point didn't get a podium, and of course Mercedes and other McLarens, because Ritvick and Jamie have switched teams and gone to McLarens. It's like a Hamilton in reverse, really, isn't it? And the champions themselves, the drivers' champion and the constructors' champions, Preston and Callum, have gone from Williams to, of course, Ferrari themselves. So hopefully it'll be very interesting, but who knows? We will have to wait and see. Now everyone's warming up their tyres nicely, trying to keep that speed. And of course, if we go down, we have, of course, the newcomer himself, Carl, enjoying the formation lap. Of course, this will heat up their tyres, but it does give themselves a little bit of wear. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? The drivers, I don't think, expected a formation lap. I will be honest, I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But yes, if we go down quickly, we have Ritvick there, nice in McLaren, with Harry there in the Red Bull, we have Preston there in the Ferrari, we have Callum there in the Ferrari, and Jamie there in the McLaren. So that is all our 6 drivers now. Will we see Carl potentially get back up to a good position. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, obviously. But we'll see what he can do. Now, the grid is just forming back up now. Very slowly, very nicely. That will be waiting now for the lights out. We will, yes, hopefully that will not be taking too long now. Preston coming back in. The same as Callum Mayer, same as Jamie, who's already lined up there, and now Carl slowly coming in as well, just about to park it up as well. So yes, we're about to see lights out in a minute. Actually, I'll take that about 10 seconds, probably less than that now. 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Here we go, people. And it's lights out and away we go here. We are back at Bahrain. The Grand Prix is underway. Harry, P1, Ritvic, P2, Preston, P3. Jamie goes down to P6. Ritvic takes back P2. Preston, however, fights back, takes P2, sends Ritvic wide. And Callum now potentially going for the attack. However, back at the bottom, Carl, what a great start there, getting straight up to P14. Nice work there by Carl. Potentially grabbing P13 here. Very unlucky not to, but he says, no, that is mine, and takes it from good old Kimi Räikkönen there. But Kimi Räikkönen takes that P12 spot. So Carl will have to yet again beat him, but back up to the top here. Jamie still in P6, however, chasing down Fernando Alonso, who managed to get a sneaky overtake on Jamie there at the start. Callum still in P4, Ritvic still holding that P3 nicely, Preston in P2, and Harry in P1. So nicely done there. We're just going to get some details up very quickly. We got full track now. We got the lap data up so we can see where everyone is. However, if we go down, Jamie now has taken that P5 spot. Well, Fernando took it back, but Jamie said, no you don't, and took that P5 spot right back. He has claimed it back and he knows that's his. However, if we go back down to the bottom, no, not to bottom, about halfway down, Harry sent fast out 134.117. Nice work there by Harry, but nice work by Carl to get up to P11 now. He is zooming past all the AIs, climbing it very quickly. We're only on lap 2 here. So nice work by Carl. He's now up to P10, in fact. Gets the overtake on George Russell on the second corner there. But yeah, nice work there by Carl to get that. We'll be hunting Yuki Tsunoda now. As soon as DRS is enabled, that will mainly be his friend. However, potentially Ritvic is getting quite close now to Preston. Has got the fastest in Sector 1 there. Goes a bit wide now, potentially. Will we see Ritvic be a bit more careful this season? Of course, last season he was a bit reckless. He DNF'd quite a bit, so potentially we're looking for him to be a bit more careful. Same as Jamie here, in fact. Can he be a bit more careful? I mean, who knows? He has been getting into good positions, but he got very unlucky and slipped out or something, so he will have to be careful with those corners. Yes, Ritvic nicely keeping that P3 spot now, trying to hunt down Preston whilst also getting hunted by Callum there. But yes, now Carl up to P10, looking for the overtake now on Yuki Tsunoda, closing him down, goes on the outside of, no, on the inside of Yuki Tsunoda and takes that P9 spot, nice and firmly through into that corner now. Harry is fastest that. Callum sits fast at 132.079. Nice work there by Callum to set that. DRS is now enabled. That will be everyone's friend, especially Carl's, who has to get up that grid quite far, in fact. Can he do it? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Callum, however, now closing in on Ritvic here, getting very close, potentially go for it on this corner. No, couldn't. Very unlucky not to there. But he is getting ever so closer and closer to Ritvic. I'm sure he'll definitely be challenging for that position. It might be now, in fact. Ritvic trying to close off the attack and defend quite well. Managed to, in fact. But that will not deter Callum, I'm sure. Callum will be after him for that position. We do have 29 laps in total, so who knows. If we go back down by P9, the P8 position might be under some fight for Lewis Hamilton by Carl here, getting closer and closer potentially here. He will not. He's going for it. He's going down on the inside. No, he's not. He almost got on the inside, but was very unlucky not to. Yellow flag between Sector 2 and Sector 3 now. Now into Sector 3. Ritvic, Harry has dropped down to P4, has gone seriously off track. Preston takes up P1 spot. Ritvic P2, Callum P3. So nice work by the two Ferraris to go up a spot, and Ritvic also go up a spot. Harry, very unlucky to drop down to P4. I'm not sure what happened. He looked like he went off really far off track, so potentially something, he like got pushed off track, but potentially a person went for an overtake or something, who knows. But another man who's just got an overtake is Carl. Managed to get an overtake on Lewis Hamilton, got that P8 spot, and now attacked Sebastian Vettel and got the P7 spot. Will be going after Fernando Alonso now. It's not that big of a gap, so he could get it potentially. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see now. However, Callum once again closing in on Ritvic here. Goes on the outside of the corner here. Tries to snatch that P2 position. Can he? He's level wheel to wheel here potentially, and he goes for it. Ritvic goes straight into him and takes him out. Wow. Ritvic didn't allow him a space, went full throttle into the corner and went straight into Callum and knocked him completely wide. Quite unlucky there for Callum. However, Carl has just got the overtake on Jamie there. Nice work, of course, got the overtake on Fernando just before that. But yeah, nice work there by Carl to get that overtake. Will be hunting his teammate, Harry, now. Will Harry potentially let him past? Who knows? He does have 3.6 seconds to make up. Can he do it, though? That is the question, I'm sure. No messages sent quite yet to the chat, so we're not seeing any of our drivers needing a word yet. Callum now catching up to Harry catching up to Callum, sorry. Correction there. Jamie now gone into pits, potentially a broken wing or something, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, just a wheel change, I think, being lap 5, I'm not sure. Yeah, just a wheel change there. Onto mediums now. Nice work there. Yeah, Carl trying his best to catch up, but however, Harry is attacking Callum now, tries to get that position. I think he's got it, goes on the outside of Callum and snatches that position. Nice work there by Harry, but Callum is fighting back. He wants that position back. The two guys that fought for second place in our championship last season. Of course, Callum coming victorious because Harry unfortunately DNF'd, and Harry beats him this time and takes that P3 position. Nice work there by Callum. No, I mean, very unlucky there for Callum. And nice work for Harry to take that P3 spot. It's kind of like the race last season, isn't it? I'm getting quite confused between teams and stuff. I definitely won't say Williams is Mercedes again or anything. Nah, not at all. Carl is now catching up to Callum now. Can he catch up in time though? Who knows, that'll be a question. However, Callum will be, I'm sure, getting DRS on Harry any minute now. We're going to pull up, I think, if we get our telemetry. I think that's how you say it. Probably not. Correct me if not. However, Callum going into the pits now, looking for a change there. Double stacking it for our Ferrari. Also, Preston goes for mediums here. Nice change. Callum also going for mediums, perhaps? Yes, he is also going from softs to mediums there. Wing change as well. Very unlucky there for Callum. Drops down to P15, P16, P16. Is he going to stay at P16? I think he will get out just in time. Carl now for P3, trying to hunt Harry. But can he do it? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Ritvic still holding that P1 spot. Nice work, to be fair, for Ritvic. Started out like P3 and managed to climb up and go to P2 due to Harry going off track. And then take that position from Preston because Preston needed to pit. So nice work for staying out there by Ritvic. But of course Ritvic will have to pit. His soft will not survive for ages, so he will need to pit. But now we have Callum in P20, where of course Carl started. and the opposite side where he was at the finish of a race last season here at Bahrain. Jamie, of course, P19, potentially looking to attack Pierre Gasly here. Can he do it though? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Preston, however, is in P8 now. Managed to get out of the pits in a nice spot, I would say, trying to catch up to Yuki Tsunoda now. So both AlphaTauris under attack by our drivers on lap 7, and potentially Gasly. This is a position to Jamie there. Jamie takes that P18 spot, also sees Mick Schumacher and does a double overtake now. Nice work there by Jamie. Now going after Nikita Mazepin. Has that DRS and is going for him. A lot of people pitting as well. Callum now, of course, because of that, going up. But I have been distracted. Due to, I think, Harry pitting, potentially. Has he pitted? I think he's pitted. Just now. He doesn't look to have pitted. I'm not sure what's happened there, but it was a yellow flag in sector 1. But that is because of Valtteri Bottas, who has DNF'd here. Very unlucky to Bottas there. But yeah, pressing up to P5 now. We have Carl in P1 now. Nice work by Carl to come from P20 up to P1 is amazing work there. Jamie now in P17, in fact, potentially getting attacked by Tsunoda, but also Jamie has 5.9 seconds to catch up on, well, now 6 seconds to catch up on Pierre Gasly, so he's attacking and being attacked by AlphaTauri on either side, really. But now Preston is up to P3. Nice work there by Preston, looking to potentially get an overtake on Fernando Alonso here. And he may as well be getting it. DRS, no, Fernando goes into pits. So Preston races straight past and takes that position. Nice work there by Preston to get that position, of course. Well, wasn't much effort really because Fernando, of course, went into pits. But still, kept up that speed, kept up the drive, didn't slip out and took that position. Of course, Carl being on soft, he won't have to pit for a while longer, and that will give him the advantage. But whether Preston will be able to catch up on new mediums or not, we'll see. Did I say mediums? I swear, I'm doubting myself. I think I said, like, I don't know what I said, but what I meant was Carl is on old mediums, if I didn't say that. Whatever I said, I don't know. But potentially Harry getting the overtake on Esteban Ocon here. Has he got it? Successfully goes into the corner. In the lead. Goes on the inside and manages to get past Esteban there. However, safety car here because Carl appears to have slipped out. Very unlucky for Carl. He's lost his wing, in fact. Big accident there for Carl. He's going to have to pit now. His turning, of course, being massively affected here. But this can be an advantage for Preston himself, who can now catch up. But Carl will now be pitting. Is that too early that he's pitting? I mean, if we look at it, 8 lap olds mediums. It's not long. It's not. He shouldn't have pitted this early, I don't think. But he has, unfortunately. Had to get, obviously, a wing change as well. Now P3. He's going on to softs, in fact, so he will have to pit later on. Harry now in taking that P3 position. Ritvick P2. Preston P1. Callum also climbing it now. P5. P4 now. Carl drops down to P5. Getting out at that P5 position. So now going to be looking to get after Callum here. Can he though? Now, who knows? I mean, safety car, obviously. You know, so everyone's going to bundle up together. Everyone's going to, you know, be really close together. And that, I mean, well, DRS won't be enabled straight away, so down to driver skill. But whether he can get past or not, who knows? Jamie now in P8. He'll be looking to potentially get out of his safety car and put on the absolute gas and try and get past everyone and overtake everyone. Whether he can or not and catch up to his teammate Ritvic will be a mystery. Who knows? We'll have to find out, I guess. Yes, lap 9 here, so we have 20 more laps left to go of this race. What's going to happen, do you think, guys? I mean, with, you know, obviously Carl here managed to get from P20 up to P1. It was pretty work, to be fair, by Carl to get all those overtakes and everything. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you know, Callum also in P4. He'll be potentially having to defend off Carl, but Carl being on softs, that'll give him the advantage. Harry also on softs. Might I add. So both Red Bulls on softs, that give them the advantage. Ritvic on mediums, and so is Preston, and so is Jamie, I do believe. Yeah, everyone is on mediums except Red Bull. So who knows? We'll have to see what happens, won't we? Potentially Red Bull will have a better pace, whether they can use that or not, who knows? Should we just see how old? It's 2-lap old soft for Harry. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens here, won't we? Position change. Of course, Carl getting 15 of those. He did start P20. But I'm guessing like 5 of those might just be due to pit stops or something, I don't know. No, actually, it's because he's in P5 currently, and obviously it's gone down, obviously, hasn't it? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, if we just ride alongside of our drivers here, lap 10 now, potentially, hopefully, safety car will be going in soon, but whether it will go in at this lap or next lap will be a mystery, won't it? But who knows? Still no messages by our drivers here, but which is quite surprising because I was expecting something or other to be, oh, this, you know, this person made me spin out or something, you know. But luckily, haven't had that, so no problems yet. Well, no serious problems anyway. Until after the race, I'm sure. But yes, here we go now. With all our drivers still, you know, will be raring to go. Potentially, I mean, having mediums as softs will wear out a lot quicker, obviously, but at the beginning of this, softs will have that pace. And whether Red Bulls can use that or not, who knows? We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Safety car is finally in this lap. Let's go. We're about to get under racing conditions again. Nice one there by the officials to bring in the safety car finally. But yeah, potentially Jamie will be needing to do the most work, obviously, in P8. Can he do it or not? Who knows? Carl is ready to potentially attack Callum here as well. Or can Callum defend him off? Who knows? But we're about to find out because we're about to go racing again. Preston strategically slowing it down and speeding off potentially, but that didn't hold the guys up at all. Ritvic on his tail here, potentially looking for an overtake on the outside, couldn't reach it. Callum managed to get an overtake on Harry, but Harry stole it right back. However, Carl has managed to get an overtake on Callum here, sends Callum down to P5, and might be looking to get an overtake also on Harry here. Can't get it, trying to go on the inside, but very unsuccessfully getting it there. Jamie once again having to pit. That is very unlucky there by Jamie, but hopefully we'll see. Even Ritvic now in P4. Is he spun out or something? What happened with Ritvic? To one moment I look away, isn't it? But I don't know, like, mad. It's like real F1 all over again. It's Ferraris versus Red Bulls here. Will we see the same outcome, like potentially Ferrari win here, Red Bull win in Jeddah, and then, I mean, yeah, it'd be Melbourne, so Red Bull win in, no, Ferrari win in Melbourne. I'm trying to remember my knowledge, it's not going well, obviously. We are on lap 11 now, however, so potentially, who knows what can happen. we still have when no we lap 12 now, so that's 20. That's no, not 20. That is trying to do my maths here. 17 or 16 laps left. I should know, obviously. Ritvik getting DRS here in P13, looking for an overtake, potentially on Lance Stroll. Tried to go on the inside, but couldn't get it. Very unlucky there by Ritvik, not being able to get that. I did say Ritvik, right, not Jamie. I keep doubting myself for some reason. Jamie now looking to potentially catch up. Can he or not? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out. Harry, however, in P1 now. Carl in P3, looking to catch up to Preston. Can he though? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. He is catching up to him though. That is for sure. 0.6, 0.5 second gap now. Callum is not being able to catch up to Carl, unfortunately. But yeah, Carl is not letting Preston out of his sight. He wants that P2 position. Can he get it? Though? Imagine that. 2 Red Bulls, a Red Bull P1, P2. That would be massive in itself. But who knows whether it will happen or not. But he is catching up now. Of course, Callum will not be getting DRS on Carl. So any DRS used, will it come into fruition here? It doesn't look to be coming into fruition. However, Carl is using what's left of his DRS. He sets the fast line with a 131.377, I believe that was. And he takes that P2 position, goes on the inside of the corner, takes that P2 position. Preston tries to get it back, but Carl manages to defend him off and keep that position. Now Carl is trying his best to catch up to Harry here. Will he be able to take it? Goes on the inside and takes the P1 position away from Harry. Carl is back up to P1. Started P20, went up to P1, went to P5, and is back up to P1. Nice work by Carl there. Ritvik, however, back up to P9 now. Went from P13, obviously, and has made about 4 positions now. 5 now, up to P8. Nice work there by Ritvik. Happened right when I was looking at it as well. However, Preston just got the overtake on Harry, but Harry trying to fight back can't, and is sent absolutely wide. And Preston manages to get ahead of him. I'm stuttering loads now. It's really not good. Yes, potentially can Harry catch up? 0.3 second gap now. He is catching up quite fast. Could he get it on this corner? He's sent wide. Wow. Goes on the outside. Can't get it. He's sent really wide there. Very unlucky there by Harry, but he has DRS. He's going on the inside. And he gets that P2 position from Preston. Nice work there by Harry. We're seeing that battle again between Harry and Preston like we did in the French Grand Prix last season. But obviously that was for P1 and this is for P2. Can Preston fight back? However, he has DRS. He's looking for it, tries to go on the outside, but isn't close enough to get it. Ritvik now up to P6. Nice work there by Ritvik. Jamie's still down in P19. He's still trying to catch up the best he can, but obviously being on hard, he is slower. But that does not mean he can't catch up. Don't underestimate Jamie. He can come back in this, I'm sure of it. But those shots on the Red Bulls will be starting to affect him soon, because I'm pretty sure, yes, as you can see, Harry's 6 lap hold sauce, that'll definitely be getting to him soon, beware. And Carl on 4 lap holds, so not major right now for Carl, but will be very soon, I'm sure of it. And that's when Ferraris, I'm sure, will be taking those positions back. Whether the Red Bulls can come back or not, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Ritvik in P6 now. Carl with an I thought there was an overtake happening there, but my correction, sorry about that. Jamie 9 seconds away now from Vettel. He is catching up. 2 lap hold hards. He is working he's working as much as he can, as hard as he can. I was going to say something else, but then I thought, nah, going to say PG, we're going to correct this sentence. Yeah, he's catching up to Vettel. However, Harry drops down to P4, and Preston takes that P3. Callum takes P2, but Harry says, no you don't, and takes that P3 position back. I believe Preston tried to take it back, but couldn't. But of course, the more the more battling Harry does, the more it's going to affect his tyres. Whether he can conserve his tyres whilst battling will be a mystery. Yeah, Carl managing to keep his position. Nice work, to be fair, by Carl. This whole race, to be fair, from, as I said, from P20, he's using his ERS a lot here, though. Managing to conserve a little bit of it, however. Harry now potentially catching up to Callum. You've got also Preston potentially catching up to Harry here. Ritvick looking to catch up to Lewis Hamilton as well. Get that P5 position, get a good start for McLaren. Can they though? Who knows? I mean, with Jamie down in P19, potentially P18 soon, however. Can the McLarens get a good start this race? Who knows? Now we're on to lap 16. Carl managing to get a big gap. However, Harry going for the overtake, sends Callum wide and goes on the outside of Callum and takes that P2 position back nicely. But he's on 8 lap old softs now with what, like 13 laps left to go. Those will die out if he doesn't get that gap going. However, as we just see, Ritvick has just managed to overtake Lewis Hamilton here. Nice work there by Ritvick, to be fair, to take that. But yeah, he will be climbing here. 10-second gap now between him and Preston. Can he catch up in time? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. But Jamie now in P19, 2 seconds, well, still in P19, 2 seconds away from Vettel. So he's definitely catching up. He has them in his sights. Could he potentially get it though? Who knows? Now Callum with DRS potentially catching up to Harry here. I'm wondering how the Red Bulls are going to do this pit strategy. Are they going to double stack it? Is there enough time to double stack it? That's the mystery you got to ask yourself. And how far will they fall? I mean, Ritvick obviously having that 10-second gap will give them that advantage. You got a yellow flag in Sector 2 for some reason. I believe it's because Mick Schumacher has slipped out. Yes, I believe he has. Because of that, Jamie is now taking that P18 position. Nice work there by Jamie. Of course, Harry now going into pits. Potentially Ritvick might be getting the overtake on Harry here. It doesn't look to be. Lewis Hamilton as well. Can Harry get out fast enough to not allow himself to go below P6? No. Lewis Hamilton is also pitting. Harry is almost to the line, but that is Yuki Tsunoda catching up to him, however. And I believe, yes, Tsunoda's taking that position, so is George. And he comes out at a nice P7 there, so not too bad, really. But Carl managing to keep the lead, however, now got the 2 Ferraris on him. It's definitely a Bahrain F1 2022 season, that's to say the least. This is real life F1 I'm talking about, obviously, because we, saw a Red Bull in front of the 2 Ferraris at one point, but can potentially, can one of Ferraris get ahead of Carl? Who knows? Will Carl keep this lead? He will have to pit, as I keep saying, but who knows? Harry now up to P6. Looking definitely to overtake Yuki Tsunoda here. However, massive improvement down at bottom of the grid. Jamie up to P12 here. Nice work by Jamie, to be fair. We've got 12 laps left to go. He could climb it massively. Whether he can or not, who knows. Harry definitely tried to get an overtake there on Yuki Tsunoda, but Tsunoda snatched it right back. But I'm sure he'll be getting DRS any second now and be closing in on him. But of course, Tsunoda does have that 11-second gap between him and Ritvick. Preston, of course, pitting now. So Ritvick has gone up to P3 here. Callum, I suspect, will also be pitting soon, of course, with 11-lap-old mediums. Does that mean Preston's going on to softs? No, he's going back onto mediums, in fact. What did Harry go on? No, he went on to mediums. No, Harry's gone back into pits, however. I do not know why. Maybe a wing damage or something. I actually don't know, but who knows? Potentially, I'm sure we'll find out. Jamie back out to P6. What a comeback by Jamie. He got sent straight back down to P20. No, P19 due to Valtteri getting DNF. Valtteri getting DNF'd a little bit. Total Warfare for you. But it's struck back up to P6. And Ritvig, of course, in P3, Callum P2, Carl P1, and of course we can't forget about Preston in P4. Harry back into P13 now. He'll hopefully be looking to get a lot of overtakes in the 11 laps left. Can he though? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Carl will have to pit though very soon. 8 lap old. Stops and talking about that, he is now pitting, in fact. Ritvik with a 12-second gap now is about to overtake Carl. Can Preston also overtake potentially? I think that will be a yes. George Russell might also overtake, but no, Carl is looking to get out now. That will definitely be Preston's position and potentially George's position as well if Carl can't reach that line and that speed fast enough. No, George comes into pits, however, that gives Carl a major advantage, and that gives Carl staying in P4 position. So nice there by Carl to stay there. Harry now in P12, in fact, being able to keep it massively, coming up from P13 now into P12. Can he work it back up? It does look to be, because we do have some pit stops. So he's up to P11 now. It's glitching out again, unfortunately. But yeah, he's up to P11. We'll be hunting Kimi Räikkönen 100%. Callum now in P1, back where he was this time last year with an 11-second gap between him and Ritvik. Wow, how the memories fly back, eh? If you only replaced the Ferrari car with a Williams car, and you'd have like a perfect picture of last season. Yeah, he will be enjoying that gap. No, he's pitting, in fact. There goes his huge lead. He had to pit at some point. Obviously, 13 lap old mediums they were going to wear at some point. That means Ritvik takes back P1. No, Ritvik is also pitting, which means Preston will take back P1, and I'm sure Carl will take that P2 position. However, Callum does look to be getting out. Sometimes soon, Preston sets past that with 130.997. Nice work there. Carl getting that P3 position. Can he snatch out P2? No, he can't. You see both Ferraris now, P1, P2. It's like a Melbourne situation now. Yeah, now Carl will be on the hunt for the 2 Ferraris now. However, Harry down at P9 now, looking to potentially get an overtake on Esteban Ocon here. Getting the DRS, using it. Can he get it? Goes on the outside of Esteban, or is that the inside? I think that's the, might be the, yeah, outside, I think. Goes on the inside of this corner now, and yes, it's already secured that position from Ocon himself. At this time last year, I was calling Ocon. Little fact there, and throwback for you, Season 1 watchers there. I do appreciate if you stuck around for Season 2. But yes, Harry now up to P8. He's going to be hunting Yuki Tsunoda. Can he though? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out. Ritvik now in P4. Jamie in P5. What great work by the two McLarens to come back straight back up. Carl now closing in, however, on Callum here. Could he potentially get it? I mean, there's that 1 second gap. Now he's closing it, 0.8 second, using that ERS to complete, like, lowest of the lows. He was about to lose it all. He was on 1% left, but he's now got 8%. About to get DRS. He needs to conserve his DRS the best he can. However, he doesn't care. He sets 129.515 as the fastest lap. Closing in on Callum now. Will we see an overtake here? No, we won't. Carl realises he can't do it and kind of holds back and saves his wear a bit there. We're going to go back down to Harry here, who's, in fact, closing in on Yuki Tsunoda. But if we go back to his partner, who's 0.3 seconds out from Callum here, could he potentially get this? 8 laps left to go. It could already change here. Carl really is setting the fastest sectors here. And potentially, has he got it? He can't get it. He's still not close enough. But that 0.4 second gap, now back to 0.3 second gap, he could do this. However, Harry now has got the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda. Jamie has gone out like last season. If you remember, Jamie got disconnected. Unfortunately, it appears it's happened again because he hasn't DNF'd. But however, Cole almost got the overtake, but Callum fought back, went on the inside of the corner, I'm pretty sure, and stole that P2 position back. Callum will not let Cole take this position. He wants to keep this position, whether he can or not, who knows. But Cole now is fighting back the best he can. He's about to go on me inside of this corner. Can he potentially get it? No, he drops back. He realises it may be a dangerous move, has to drop back. However, DRS is about to come into fruition. It's with his DRS as well. Goes straight past Callum and on the left, and has no ERS left, but still has that DRS. And has that P2 position now. Harry's still in P7 with a 2-second gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. Could he close the gap? Who knows? Hopefully, but we shall see what happens. Jamie, of course, in P5. Now, with a big gap to Ritvic, who also has a big gap to Callum. Ritvic, P4. Nice work to McLaren. If they can keep those positions, then I'm sure they'll be settled there. Cole now trying to catch up with Preston best he can, of course, being on softs. 2-lap old softs. If he doesn't wear them out too much, he could survive the 9 laps. He just has to be cautious with how he does it. Of course, Preston and Callum having those mediums, it may not be an advantage now, but it will be an advantage later. When the wear comes into fruition. Of course, Preston doing all he can to keep that position, keep that gap flowing, but it appears that Cole may be closing that gap. No, actually, Preston is expanding that gap massively, in fact. Cole cannot close that gap for anything. We're back down to Harry here with a 1.3 second gap. He now sees Hamilton right in front of him, in fact. On the 22nd lap, he still has, if my math is correct, no, well, of course, it's still, yeah, let's say lap 23. So he still has 6 laps left to go now. Can he climb up? Who knows? I believe if he gets this overtake, that might be his last overtake, but I'm sure he won't mind that P6 position at all. But who knows? He looks to be closing in on Lewis Hamilton now. Goes on the outside of Lewis on the corner and takes that P6 position. Nice work there by Harry. And of course, because he was behind when the DRS started, he does get the DRS. Nice tactical work there by Harry. However, Cole now closing that gap on Preston here with 6 laps left to go, as I just said. Potentially, Cole is catching up. 0.7 second gap now. 0.8 DRS coming into fruition now. That is going to be massive for Cole. Could he get it on this straight? I'm sure we're about to find out here. It might be happening this time. No, it can't. Cole can't get close enough. And he backs out, but he's definitely staying on Preston with all he's got. 3-lap old softs though, with 6 laps left to go. Who knows what will happen, eh? But now he tries to go on the inside of Preston. Could he snatch it on this corner? Goes on the inside of the corner. Preston allows him space. Wheel contact sends Cole spinning. Very unlucky there by Cole. Tries to come back on track. Obviously got a lot of time due to Ritvic being so far behind. But because of that, that will mean Ritvic will be able to catch up just that little bit. But is that all hope lost for Cole getting that P1 position due to that wheel contact? Who knows? I mean, it was very unlucky by Cole, to be fair. However, Harry closing that gap between him and Jamie now. Could he get that overtake on Jamie? Who knows? It could be possible, but who knows? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. But now Ritvic, 6-second gap between him and Carl. Jamie, a 16-second gap between him and Ritvic, and a 4-second gap between Carl and Callum. I'm sure the Ferraris will be tactically working together to make sure they can hold this. To make sure they can hold this Bahrain P1, P2 win. Whether they can hold it actually though or not, will be another question, because Carl is trying his best to close in about 4.2 second gap, but with 5 laps left, almost closing in on 4 laps left. Can he do it or not? I mean, 4 laps, I mean, that is enough time to close that gap, but can he do it or not? Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Well, here we go. Jamie now got a massive... No, actually, I was about to say massive gap. But no, he hasn't, because Harry is, as you can see, behind him there. And he's closing that gap. Potentially, Harry might be going for that overtake on Jamie. If he can get ahead of Jamie with... I mean, with his partner being ahead of Ritvic, that will mean Red Bull will be going ahead of McLaren in the constructors. I'm sure taking that second place. The first race of the season, but of course it is the first of 14, so who knows what will happen here. But he's closing ever so closely. However, another person who's closing is Carl here, who of course the times have now gone away, but he has 3 seconds, 3 second time, 3 second gap now between him and Callum. I don't know what's going on with me. I keep stuttering. I do really apologise about that. But however, Harry has just got that overtake on Jamie. I couldn't see the time, obviously, but he has managed to get past him. But Jamie has got DRS. He's catching up with the hards. Could he do it or not? Well, I'm sure we're about to find out. I don't know why the time has gone off. I'm going to try and edit it here. I don't think you can actually. Lap data, no. It doesn't seem like I can. I'm pretty sure I edited it last season, but I can't remember how. But yes, Harry does own that P5 position. That is nice work by Harry there, to be fair. But Carl potentially catching up to Callum here with 3 laps left to go now, exhausting all of his ERs completely. Is that a wise decision? I really don't think so, because he will be losing pace. As he is now, as you can see, 2.7 second gap now, 2.8 second. And most softs, of course, pretty worn out now due to 6 laps. I really do think for Callum and Preston might be safe for this race, and it might be a Ferrari P1 and P2 here at Bahrain. But interesting story, of course. You know, Preston, if he takes that P1 spot, it'd just be a reverse around of those of their roles from last season. Of course, Callum last season taking that P1 spot and Preston taking that P2 spot. But no, this season it could be Preston taking that P1 spot and Callum taking that P2 spot, unless somehow Callum can catch up to Preston. I mean, would they put that under threat? Who knows? I do believe that's actually Mick Schumacher there. He's got obviously blue flagged by Callum and Preston there, so very unlucky. 2.8 second gap now. Carl is trying all he can, but with 3 laps left, as I said, now coming on to 2 laps left. Is there really anything he can do for this? I don't know, who knows. But 20 second gap now between Harry and Ritvic. So I think that will just be between him and Jamie, in fact, Harry and Jamie. But it's whether Jamie can catch up or not, who knows. But now, of course, I mean, Carl has managed to get past Mick Schumacher due to a blue flag rule, and he's trying his best to catch up. 2.7 second, he can't get any closer, unfortunately. But it does feel like Carl will be getting, of course, his first podium of the season, but will be remaining that P3 spot. So, I mean, nice work, to be fair, by Carl. He does deserve driver of the day, in my opinion, to come from P20 and to at least get that P3 spot is massive. He's had a great drive today, to be fair, so who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Harry now, of course, still creating that gap between him and Jamie. Nice work by Harry to come back as well. He got sent back down to P13, has managed to come back, take that P5 spot, so nice work there. So both Red Bulls are looking to be in a good spot here. Will definitely be taking that second place from Constructors. But it does look to be, for the Drivers' Champion from last season, will be taking his first win of the season. But, of course, we do have 2 laps left to go. And it does actually look like Carl is closing in bit by bit. I mean, that's not out of the question yet. It could still happen. 2.1 second now. 2.1 seconds. Make that 2 seconds. In fact, he's exhausting all of his ERS again. I really don't think that's a wise choice by Carl there. Because I think that slows him down, but slows him down. I can't speak. But who knows? I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, but he will be trying his best. But who knows? Ritvik, however, 8 seconds away from Carl here, with just this lap and next lap left, 2 laps left. What can happen? Who knows? I mean, it's just we'll see what happens, obviously. But I don't think much can happen. Mick Schumacher once again get blue flagged. Unlucky there by Mick to get blue flagged once again by another driver. Ritvik taking it absolutely wide around that corner. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty for exceeding track limits there. Carl, again, trying all he can, but it does look to be Carl claiming his first podium, his first P3 of his D6 F1 Championship career. But who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, lap 28 here of 29. So he's closing in. Well, no, he's not closing in anyway. Lap 28, so we are about to come up to the final lap of the race, and because of course it's final lap of the race, we're going to focus on the leader of this race, obviously. What great drive by everyone today, I must say. It's been a brilliant race. Great opener, to be fair. A nice work by Preston to hold that P1. I'm wondering whether it was a strategic play to hold off Carl and make sure Ferrari take this P1 and P2 home. Whether that was true or not, who knows? But it does look to be your Season 1 Drivers' Champion will be the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix, unless Callum pulls a sneaky one and takes it. But I highly doubt it. Yes, we are just coming down now to the into Sector 2 here. Nice work by Preston to keep that speed going and everything. I think Carl kind of has given up on catching up now. He's 9 lap old softs. If he didn't claim that P1 position first, if he claimed that P1 position before Preston, even then it was a risk that Preston might have caught up due to obviously the wear. But it does look to be but P1 Preston, P2 Callum, P3 Carl, P4 Ritvik, P5 Harry, and P6 Jamie. And ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner of the season D6 F1 Championship Season 2 Bahrain Grand Prix, Preston, from not Mercedes, not Williams, but Ferrari. Nice drive by Ferrari to get that P1 and P2. Nice drive by Carl to come from P20 to P3. And what a great drive by everyone, in fact. All 6 of our drivers getting in the top 6, but well done to Preston and Ferrari to claim that P1 and P2. Nice work to Callum, obviously, to take that P2 home. And nice work to Carl for taking his first podium of his career. But yes, here we are now with... I was just enjoying the final bit. But yes, Jamie now about to finish his race. And thank you everyone for joining. We're about to see you at the podium any minute. Well done to Preston, and we're about to see the podium. See you guys in a minute. Here we go with the podium, and of course the first Ferrari on the podium ever, because of course first team to be in Ferrari. Nice work today by Preston to claim his first win of the season. Your Season 1 Drivers' Champion and your Season 1 Constructors' Champions have taken home the win, this time at Bahrain. Thank you for joining us. Here we are at the leaderboard, and as you can see, it's P1 for Preston, P2 for Callum, so that's P1, P2 for Ferrari, P3 for Carl on his first race of his career, P4 for Ritvik, P5 for Harry, and P6 from Jamie. Well done for everyone today. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week at Jeddah. Thank you all for joining us, and see you next time.